Yo guys, Spiderbot here. This is a follow-up video to yesterday's trailer analysis. I'm going to be looking further into the trailer. Admittedly, I mean, even though I did spend a fair bit of time on the trailer analysis yesterday, I had to pick up my kids and take them to the eye doctor. My oldest had an eye appointment. She actually has to get glasses, but I wanted to get it done and out there. And also, I mean, I'm just one set of eyes. Now that we've had 84,000 plus sets of your eyes looking at this stuff and giving feedback, etc., and me having a chance to go back through it and look at more stuff, we're going to go through it again, and identify other things that we didn't the first time around. So let's get to it. Also, at the end of this, remember where I was talking about the press release and I ran the trailer and I left the trailer volume too high? Well, I'm going to put that at the end of this video again, but I'm going to lower that trailer volume so you can actually hear me talk. So if you didn't get what I was saying yesterday, then it's there for you at the end of this video today. All right, let's go. Okay, so in this first bit, we're going down Broadway, but take a look at that cell on the right-hand side, right beside the hallway. Now, this is probably nothing, but it sort of got my interest for whatever reason. It looks like there's something hanging from the ceiling, whether it's a sheet or something. But there's really no reason, in my opinion, for it to be rustling as though there was wind blowing through there. I mean, unless the roof is gone off of Alcatraz or whatever, why would there be wind blowing through the hallways of the prison? Now, doesn't that look a little bit like an image of a ghost? Doesn't it, like the top end of the ghost? Maybe it's Casper, the friend of the ghost. I don't know. Like I said, it's probably nothing. It's probably is just a rustling sheet or something that's hanging off the ceiling in that cell, but I don't know. What do you think? Okay, this next bit is the library, and there are a few things I want to talk about. Number one is that I think it's the starting area, simply because you have what looks to be an Olympia on the wall, available to be purchased on the wall, and I mean, the Olympia has been available on pretty much every single map in Black Ops 2 as a starting area weapon purchasable off the wall. The next thing has to do with this table, with the candles, the skull, the what looks to be a shirt down there, and for this a curious orange light, or yellow light, orangish yellow light that's glowing. And there's another one that I'm going to show you another image, but people have suggested in the comments that maybe this has to do with the sort of transfer to and back from Purgatory. Perhaps the characters that are still on this map and not in Purgatory have to make a sacrifice to get the other character out of Purgatory. Who knows? This is just another quick close-up of that curious light that we saw, the orange-yellow light on the ground. Again, not sure exactly what it is or if it means anything at all. It just kind of stood out for me. Last thing in the library, if you look to the right on the wall, it looks like that may be perhaps a schematic and where you would normally have a workbench. You know, in Transit and Die Rise, you'd have the workbench and you have a schematic sort of on the wall behind it. It looks that way. Not sure what you would build there. I don't think they'd make you build something in order to be able to get out of the starting area. I know they sort of did that in Transit. I mean, you didn't need to have the buildable in order to get out. You could buy the door, but we'll see what happens here. Okay, we're going to carry on here and get to the point where they're showing us what looks to be the development of the cutscene for this map. Now look at this character model they're using. I mean, he did look familiar when I first watched through this trailer, but people have pointed out in the video comments that it, in fact, looks like Lev Kravchenko. Kravchenko was a big part of Black Ops 1, played a smaller part in Black Ops 2, and he was actually killed depending on what choice you made during the interrogation scene. He was either killed by Mason or Woods, but definitely looks like Kravchenko in this image. Now, I mean, they could be using any character model they want during development, right? I assume, and I'm not a developer, but I assume they could take another character model, slap it on top, and that would be the new character for that cutscene. Because I really can't see them working Kravchenko into the cutscene, but you never know. You never know. Regardless, it definitely looks like him, and 95% sure that that's the character model they're using during the development and recording of that little portion of the trailer. Okay, let's get back to this teddy bear image, this strip cell or whole cell on Block D in Alcatraz, where you have this teddy bear. Again, a little, I love this. It's freaking an Easter egg in a trailer. What the hell? Treyarch. Anyways, you got the back left corner. Looks like that's been filled in. That's where the toilet used to be. Now we're zooming in here, and if you look above and to the right of that teddy bear, it almost looks like there's a face or a picture or an outline of a man in the floor. I mean, it could just be coincidence. It could be something that they, Treyarch worked into the this little Easter egg along with the teddy bear. But and the reason why I mentioned yesterday about Cell 14D, because that was one of the ghost stories from Alcatraz that I covered yesterday. Cell 14D, one of the wholesales, is believed by some to be very active with spirits. Visitors and employees have reported feeling a raw coldness, and at times a sudden intensity encompasses the cell. Tales have been told of an event in the 1940s when a prisoner locked in 14D screamed throughout the night that a creature with glowing eyes was killing him. The next day, guards found the man strangled to death in the cell. No one ever claimed responsibility for the convict's death. However, the next day, when doing head counts, the guards counted one too many prisoners. Some of the guards claimed seeing the dead convict in line with the other inmates, but only for a second before he vanished. So perhaps that's a little Easter egg. That's the guy from Cell 14D who was killed. Okay, so one thing I noticed with this little scene here, and I know I talked about the lift cart being a buildable component for the zombie shield possibly. If you look to the left of that lamppost, and we're going to zoom in a little bit, looks like there's a buyable weapon on the wall. I'm not sure what it is because it's very, very hard to get an actual image. It looks small. It looks like it's either possibly a B-23R or an SMG. Maybe the PDW-57 is back. Maybe the AK-74U. It's too blurry to tell even zooming in, but it doesn't look like it's an assault rifle. An assault rifle would probably have more width to it. Same with an LMG or whatever else, or a sniper, for instance. Of course, we gotta talk about the Thompson again. I mean, look at this thing; it's freaking beautiful, beautiful. It's actually called the Chicago typewriter. We'll call it. I mean, it's a Thompson Chicago typewriter. I mean, look at that freaking drum magazine. Anyways, I almost think that it might be a buildable weapon. I know two players have it in this scene. It still may be possible that multiple players can get it. It would almost make sense. I mean, it's a beast weapon. I mean, getting that thing out of the box, are you crazy? I think you should build it. I think it should be a buildable weapon. But either way, it's going to be kick-ass. And, oh yeah, we're going to be playing with that all day and all night long. And then I wanted to draw your attention again to the writing on the wall. I have no idea what language this is in. Maybe you linguists out there that are watching, I haven't seen any comments or tweets about it. And then there's something on top of that cabinet. I don't know if it's anything. I really don't even have any idea what it looks like. Trying to zoom in, gets kind of blurry. So it just looks like there's something in it. It looks out of place. It looks odd. So that's why I thought I'd mention it. Okay, so we're going to get back to the scene and the image where Ray Liotta is shooting up his LSAT and talk about a few things, because this had a lot of interesting things that we looked at yesterday. We're going to look at them a little bit more in depth here. All right, first thing is what I identified yesterday as the possibility for a new trap or a trap activation switch that we've seen on previous maps, and people identified, Spider, why didn't you look up the ceiling? Well, you look up at the ceiling, yeah, you got these spikes coming down, so it looks like it's some sort of ceiling spike trap. I think from the position that Liotta is standing in, it would probably spike him and kill him, but if he's standing on the other side by where that, presumably that advanced hellhound or whatever the hell it is, if he's standing over there and activating it by the switch, then it would come down and spike crush the zombies or anything else that would be underneath. All right, next thing, and it's hard to get a clear picture, but going back to the zombie shield, and on Transit you had a car door that was the second component to the second and final component to the zombie shield with the lift cart. Well, Alcatraz, I mean, where are you going to get a car door from? Not sure, but it looks like almost that there's some sort of shield on. I don't know if those are cots or what, but it looks like in the middle of that image that would possibly be the second component. It's not necessarily a car door, but it looks like it's kind of a shield with a window on it that you would attach to the lift cart, perhaps. Okay, now two more things. Just going back to what looked to be that advanced Hellhound. It's really not moving. People have mentioned, well, maybe it's chained up. Maybe it's kind of like almost like a portal that this thing's trying to come out of. Leota and whoever's controlling him keeps shooting the zombie, and even after the zombie's dead, he's still shooting for, you know, quite a time afterwards. There's that cabinet in the back right. He's not really, doesn't seem to be too worried about that dog that's sitting there on the left-hand side that's flaming and looks badass. So again, we're not really sure what that is. And also that cabinet in the back right with that green light coming off of it or behind it. People have mentioned, well, perhaps it's like a bank transfer, point transfer system or something. Again, still not sure about it, but I wanted to bring some of those comments forth for you guys. Also, somebody mentioned something about the writing on the LSAT, but that's always been there. If you go into multiplayer and equip the LSAT, you'll see that writing on it. I don't know if it says lies or what, but that's definitely not new here in Mob of the Dead. Next up, we're going to look at another weapon. I think people have been mistaking this for the MSMC when it in fact is a mini Uzi. I mean, take a look at, you know, around the grip of the MSMC. It's clearly not an MSMC and more akin to the mini Uzi. Perhaps that is the buyable weapon that we saw earlier in the outside image of Alcatraz. Now, I don't think you're going to mistaken this for the FNFAL, of course. And then we've got Madsen going to town with the Executioner. Now, one other thing I mentioned yesterday was the possibility that is stemming up behind Madsen to his right. Yeah, I don't think so. If you look at the full-blown image of the perk machine, no. We have seen no evidence of perks in the trailer. Okay, we're going to skip to the next scene, which is outdoors Alcatraz, and it looks like there's an activatable switch in that bottom left area, and whether it activates this orange device, I know we talked about it yesterday, that might be a possibility. Also, we have these images, 2 images of these eyes, and I tried to look up and tweet out to see if we can find an exact match, because it's kind of almost like the eye of the medicine man or Illuminati eye, but I couldn't really find an exact match to that symbol, so we're not sure exactly what it means. I know they've had Illuminati symbols in previous maps like Ascension, etc., with the triangle and the eye at the top, but again, couldn't find an exact match, so we're not exactly sure how that's going to fit in with the map. Okay, that's it for what I covered yesterday, but next up is a portion of the trailer that I just completely edited out. I watched the trailer, and then, like I said, I was trying to I edited it pretty quickly as far as getting the zombie portions out, and I completely missed this whole section. But anyways, I don't think this is a boss zombie. I mean, it may be perhaps a stronger zombie, perhaps a zombie like the Shrieker from Shangri-La. He's just a bit of a pain in the ass. He's harder to kill, whatever. This is not the Warden. This is, I repeat, this is not the Warden. This is a prison guard. The Warden, and here's an image or a picture of the actual Warden. I mean, he's got a suit. This guy's like, you know, it's almost like he's dressed for business. It's the guards. I mean, he's got the blue coat. He's got gloves on, and look at the badge. Look at the badge, and we can pinpoint this as the exact badge that the guards had in Alcatraz at the time. I mean, look at this badge image. So it's an exact match. It's just a guard. It may just be he was made to look more ferocious. He may just be a regular zombie, or he may be a little bit more difficult to kill, as mentioned. We'll have to see. All right, guys, that's it for now. And like I said, I'm going to replay that portion of the video from yesterday where I talked about the press release, as well as a little bit more information on the characters in Purgatory. Here it is. Again, same thing from yesterday, only I've lowered the volume this time so you could actually hear me speak. If you don't want to listen to it, well, click off the video. All right, guys? Catch you later, man. We're going to have more stuff. We're going to have lots more about Mob of the Dead, Alcatraz, etc. There's plenty more to talk about, let me tell you. But that's it for now. I'm Spider, and I'm out. Hope you enjoyed. Wait. Before we get into that, I'm going to replay the trailer for you and give you some additional information that was part of the press release for the trailer. And this is a quote from Mark Lamia right here. In addition to creating 4 amazing new multiplayer maps, the studio has been hard at work on the zombies front to surpass what we accomplished with Call of the Dead. What they've done this time around is nothing zombies fans have seen before. And if you don't believe me, Just wait until you get into Purgatory. What? Purgatory? Apparently we're going to Purgatory. So here's some additional information. Following tradition of the original COD Black Ops fan favorite Zombies mode, Call of the Dead, Call of Duty Black Ops 2 Uprising's wildly creative new Mob of the Dead Zombies experience finds the 4 Prohibition-era mobsters. Billy Handsome, played by Leota, Al the Weasel Arlington, played by Pantoliano, Salvatore Sal DeLuca, played by Paul Palminteri, and Michael Finn O'Leary, played by Madsen, serving time in Alcatraz prison, only to discover that being behind bars is the least of their problems. With plans to break out of Alcatraz foiled by the rise of the undead, the quartet of inmates will have to lean on their mob-derived skills with firearms, blunt instruments, and improvised weaponry as they battle the zombies infesting and overrunning the island. Interesting. In order to survive, players must work their way through the steel cells and aging concrete buildings while fighting off a multitude of zombified prisoners and guards trapped on the island with them. Additionally, if a player becomes an unfortunate victim, Mob of the Dead's new feature known as Purgatory sends players into the afterlife. This new twist on zombies gameplay is ripe with its own set of objectives and offers fans a truly new and unique experience. So it looks like, you know, when you die off, this Purgatory is actually a playable area of this freaking map. Are you kidding me? And that might be the tie-in. Perhaps that is the tie-in back to what we've already experienced. Perhaps that's, maybe we'll find Richthofen there. Who knows? I mean, that's where he is kind of, right? In the ether, Purgatory, whatever. Holy shit. Anyways, let's get into the trailer breakdown. I just wanted to bring you that direct from the official press release.